It works. So you have to push somebody.
The Greek government has proven inefficient. The last Greek governments, Greek governments for decades have proven inefficient to deal with the real GDP. Why do you think that if in the GDP the shadow economy will be added, they will be efficient in using it? Also, the EU institutions have proven inefficient to control the Greek government in terms of the data we provide in Eurostat. What I want to say is that for the Greek plumber, for example, the shadow economy is like a solution. A solution against what you mentioned before, that if you go to the hospital, they will ask for a bribe of 100 euros in order to serve. So I agree with you in all your conclusions, but I don't agree with the order. I think the reform of the social services should come first, build a social state, provide some social security, and then control the economy. I think then, for example, I'm talking about Greece now, and then I think all the Greek citizens would be willing and to declare everything they possess or they earn from their second jobs or alike.
I'm not an expert at all in Greek domestic economic policy and social policy issues. Yeah, I must say I'm only coming from outside, and what I read and see in the papers and what the last time a lot of Greek journalists are asking me. Yeah. But of course, as that was my recommendation, have independent research groups working together with Greek researchers, checking all Greek institutions, what is working, what is not working, what people would need, what people would not need. Yeah, I said this. Yeah. So that if you think of renewing this type of contracts, that it has some trust and credibility, yeah, elsewhere nothing will change. Yeah? So have a good study, what do you have to change in the hospital sector that such a thing doesn't happen anymore. And there are a lot of good examples. Briberies you don't have invented in your country, yeah? It's all over the world. So, and there are other countries who can very efficiently deal with this. This, I mean, not inventing something you learn from other countries, yeah, and what type of social security institutions you need, what type of social help you need, for whom, under what conditions, etc., etc. Yeah, so I think this is the challenge you have. The problem is that you have to do a lot now, and one shouldn't expect miracles. Yeah, that is why I would start with a tax amnesty, to create, even if some people think this is unjust, and it is, full stop, yeah, it is, because you award something for bad behavior. The same with the bailout of the banks we had now twice, yeah. But I think you have to create a momentum, and if this would be followed by a major tax reform, then I think two important elements of such a better trust between government and voters, or government and taxpayers, could be established. Yeah? That here is an idea. I'm coming from my research line, from much more from institutional economics, yeah, from the public choice direction, and make an analysis under which institutions this relationship between voters, taxpayer on the one side, and government functions best. Also, one might think of restructuring the country to be more or less federalist, to introduce direct democracy. Why not having referendums over certain issues? Yeah, so that people think, so that people are taken serious and not only can say something every 4 years when they vote for a new parliament. Yeah. Research shows that in countries with direct democratic elements, the tax morale is higher, people are more satisfied with government's goods and services. That if they can vote on a commune, for example, commune or state level here, about certain infrastructure project, yeah, People are not so foolish that they don't make worse decisions than a parliament. Yeah? Best example is the Swiss pension system is the only one which is, besides the Swedish, which is sustainable. Yeah? And every single step in the Swiss pension system was voted in direct democratic procedures. Yeah? So, because always then the argument comes, especially from Germany, people are too stupid, you can't ask them about a pension system. Totally wrong. People are much more clever and think about what about saying. And the shadow economy is one reaction. Yeah? As I said, if you talk with shadow economy workers, it's not so fun to work over the weekend or to do this when all of our people have leisure time. Yeah? Not so much fun because they feel that they want to have a certain standard of living, they want to have some reserves for their pension, which a state doesn't give them. So that, what you are saying, would be one of my first steps, but all this takes time, and the problem is that you are in a dynamic crisis situation. Yeah? That is why I would, correcting the figures and tax amnesty would be my top priorities, yeah? That you take away a part of this heat you feel now.
Professor, the macroeconomic approach that you're suggesting in measuring the shadow economy, what value added can you see in the case of Greece?
If you, as I said, if you take this 62, let's say this is a roughly corrected figure, but as I said, you have some double counting. You have to at least, now I can only make comparisons from Austria and Germany, where I know this in a bit more detail. You have to add, to subtract 10, 12 billions for material, which is already taxed, and so this is double counting. So then we are at 48, 45, 48. Yeah? Another 5 to 8 you have to subtract because it's from illegal workers who transfer this money abroad, yeah, and consume so little that you can neglect this. Yeah? They live in not nice housing situations, etc., etc. So then you are left with 40. Yeah? Then I would say subtract, to be generous, another 10, which is purely substitutive. If it wouldn't exist in the shadow economy, it would exist in the official one. So you can't add this. It's no extra value added. Yeah? So then that's my 30. So 30 are left. And I would say these 30 billion are real extra value added from which you all profit. Yeah? In the specific areas. So, and then I would stand every debate, not having done this research, but I would stand every debate here in Greece if someone says this is nonsense. Well, then he should really make and prove it. Yeah? Say this is not the thing. And and this I don't understand. Yeah? 30 billions more on official GDP is not nothing. Yeah? It's really a sizable figure. Yeah? And that it is not worthwhile for a government to be engaged in such a debate, honestly, I don't understand. Even understanding that I'm a selfish politician, I want to be re-elected, I would make great efforts that I get these 30 billions, yeah? Also within the EU. I really don't understand this, yeah? That no, we don't touch this subject, yeah? And other thing is then would be create incentive measures that a part of these activities is transferred into official one. Like, if you have a bill, a part of it you can deduct from your taxes. Look, the change in thinking. All of you would have always think, oh, I need a bill. Yeah? A lot of activities, maybe you never got a bill. Yeah? You have to have a bill. Then the other one, if he has to either falsify a bill or has to declare it. To falsify it, I think, to make a fake bill is, I don't think it might happen, yeah, but this is a different thing, yeah, and this is what I'm also missing. Think much more, and that's the strength of the economist in incentives. If that people have an incentive, yeah, to demand it in the official economy, yeah, that people should do this, yeah, and not that there is a big brother watching you and punishes you. This is wrong and won't function.
take official memory back in Austria.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Professor Schneider.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Well, you have been outstanding.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.